Hi, I'm Larry Richardson, your step-by-step chef. In this episode, we're going to make a delicious mushroom, onion, and cheese omelet. Now, in this example, I'm going to use baby portobello mushrooms, but you can use white mushrooms, just any edible mushroom. Stay away from the ones that can't be eaten. So come on, let's cook. Okay, so here are the ingredients we're going to use for our portobello onion and cheese omelet. First of all, we have 3 eggs. We have 1/4 to 1/2 cup of shredded cheese, and the flavor of the shredded cheese is totally up to you. We're going to use 1/4 cup of minced sweet onion and 4 of these baby bellas, which we're also going to slice up kind of thin. And we have a tablespoon of butter to cook the baby bellas and the onion in, and about a teaspoon of butter to coat the bottom of the omelet pan itself. So let me show you how to put this all together. And the first thing we're going to do is prepare our vegetables. And what I'm doing is just slicing these baby bellas, about 1/8 of an inch thick. And these are going to absolutely taste delicious in this omelet. So I'm just going to slice these. And then if you could only get regular portobellos, then just slice them into this size piece. The kind of bite-sized pieces, because when you're eating an omelet, you don't want to have to use a knife to get through it. It should be a nice bite-sized breakfast. There we go. And we're going to do this for all 4 of the baby bellas. And these mushrooms will reduce as we saute them with the onion. So I'm not concerned that I'm ending up with way more than the 1/2 cup I'm looking for. So here we go. Just give them a nice slice. And we'll do this for all 4 of them. Okay, let's set these aside. And then what we're going to do is mince our onion. So I'm cutting the cap off the onion, and I find that the sweet onion tastes really good in these omelets. So if you can get sweet onion, use it. If you can only get yellow, white, or even red onion, they're all going to be delicious in this dish. But I do find out that the sweet onion stands up best to it. And now I'm just scoring the top of the onion. So I'm cutting these nice little lines going across. And this has a little bit of a tough inner skin, so I'm going to remove that too. I don't want the onions to be chewy. So if you run into that kind of puckered inner skin where the onion dried a little bit, then you can certainly pull that off. And then you just do this to slice it, just like that, score the top of the onion. And then what we're going to do is score it in the other direction. Here we go. You can see I'm going about 1/4 down into the onion deep. And then we just do this and we cut down the face. So let me show you what that looks like. So you cut down the face, and that's going to create these nice little pieces of minced onion. And again, we're shooting for 1/4 of a cup. So there's the onion. So we'll just put that in with the mushroom right now. And then what I'm going to do is meet you over at the stove. Okay, so I had this pan preheating over medium heat, this small fry pan, and I'm just putting some butter in. And actually, that was the butter I was supposed to use for the eggs. Here we go. I'm putting in our tablespoon of butter because this really helps with the portobellos to have them nice and buttery. It really adds some flavor to this dish. So I'm just melting this butter down. And then what I'm going to do is put our mushrooms and onions in with it and just saute and cook them down. Because you could see it looked like an awful lot of mushrooms for one omelet. But if you've ever seen how mushrooms cook down, it's going to be just right. Okay, so we'll give this a stir every now and then. And again, this was preheated at medium heat. And I'll show you what the mushrooms look like when they cook all the way down. And while the vegetables are sauteing, what we're going to do is just crack our eggs into this bowl. Of course, making sure not to get any eggshells into it. There we go. And then we're going to add a tablespoon of water to the eggs. You can also add milk. Some people like milk in it better. And then we just mix this up. We scramble it. And what the water or the milk does is it just makes the eggs fluffier in our omelet. Without the water, the omelet comes out pretty flat. So get that nice and mixed in. Okay, now as you can see, after about 7 minutes, our mushrooms have cooked down quite nicely. And you could cook them down even a little bit more than this if you wanted to, but really they're starting to reach the point where the pieces are going to start disappearing. So what I'm going to do is just set this aside, and I'm going to start to cook the egg part of our omelet. And this pan has preheated at just below medium heat. So I'm taking a tablespoon of butter and just coating the bottom of the pan. Get it nice and coated. Make sure all of the bottom of this frying pan is covered with butter, because you don't want your omelet to burn or stick to the pan. Even though it's a non-stick pan, you still need to put some butter in here. And then let's just pour our egg mixture into it. As you can see, my burner's a little bit crooked. So what I'm going to do is tilt the pan. There we go. Just because I want to cover the bottom of the pan with this egg mix. That's good, that's better. And what we're looking for is, if you look into the egg, you're going to see some darker, kind of translucent, almost clear windows. And when those start to turn yellow, then you know there's a floor forming at the bottom of the pan, a floor of cooked egg. And at that point, you can add in the mushroom and onion and the cheese. And I'll show you how to do that. So now when I look through the windows, I can see either white or yellow down at the bottom. And again, that means that the egg has formed that floor so that the ingredients I add don't just hit the bottom of the pan and burn. So what I want to do is take our mushroom and onion mix and add it to half of the omelet, half of the egg mix. That's looking good. Just make sure it's nice and spread out, evenly distributed. And you can see that was just the right amount. Even though it looked like a lot of mushrooms, I think we ended up with just the right amount, even cooked down. And then on the other half, we're going to put our 1/4 to 1/2 cup of cheese, of shredded cheese. This is going to be delicious. I love the portobello mushrooms because they taste kind of steaky, kind of beefy. So they really stand up to this well. And then what we're going to do is cover the pan and keep an eye out. What we're looking for is for the cheese to melt completely and for the egg to cook too, so it doesn't look like there's runny egg in the middle. And this takes anywhere from 3 to 5, maybe 6 minutes, but keep an eye on it, because once that cheese is melted and it looks like all the egg mix is dry, then what we're going to do is we're going to fold the cheese half over onto the mushroom half, and this omelet will be done. And 5 minutes later, let's take a look. That's looking good. The cheese is melted and it looks like all of the egg mix is dry. So what I want to do is just fold this half of the omelet over onto the other half, just like that. And there you have it. That is your basic portobello mushroom, onion, and cheese omelet. Now, if you like this omelet, which I hope you do, please visit my website, stepbystepchef.com, and there you're going to find several more omelet recipes and dozens of other recipes and videos for delicious meals. So I am Larry Richardson, I am your step-by-step chef, and I'll see you in the next episode.